Hi, this is Adam Kunzmiller with Board Game Geek, and I'm joined by Cesar Al-Jazar with Alley Cat Games, and we're here to talk about Dice Hospital.
Yeah.
So what is Dice Hospital?
Dice Hospital is essentially a worker placement game, but it has this quite clever dice manipulation mechanic with it, where essentially the dice are the patients.
Oh, nice.
So essentially the higher the level they are, the more healthy they are, the lower the level, unhealthy. 0, they die. At 7, they get discharged.
And is this fully cooperative, competitive?
It's a competitive game.
Nice.
Yes. So it's competitive because everyone starts out with their own sort of hex form.
So we have our own separate hospitals that we're running.
Exactly.
Here?
Yeah.
Great. So there's so much stuff here. What's happening?
So sort of here I've set it up so it's kind of mid game.
Okay.
For 2 players. So everyone has a player board. Like this. The one thing I haven't done actually is set up I have the specialists. So during each turn, you will draft the dice, and that's kind of like the beginning of the turn. So these are already painted up, but they'll get everyone who ordered a deluxe add-on.
So this is like a Kickstarter kind of stretch goal
I
thing.
commissioned it, so we have a British version and an American version.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But anyway, so you start the round by everyone drafting the dice. So whoever has the first 8 bag gets to pick first, and essentially they get to pick either ambulance 1, 2, or 3. So it will come with stickers, so you can stick your on. Essentially, if you go first, you get the most difficult dice. So if I take this one, that's the first number. But what it does is it guarantees me the first draft of the upgrades.
Okay.
So then I take them and I put them in my wards here like this, and then I get to upgrade my hospital.
So then, do the numbers represent kind of how long they have left, or?
No, it's mainly in terms of health.
Okay.
But how you score points is by discharging them.
Okay.
And you discharge them by manipulating the dice, by going sort of like in a worker placement mechanic.
So just sending them to different parts of the hospital. Correct. To get tested or get treatment or what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So essentially you would take, so once everyone is drafted, they're either a tile, which you attach to your hospital anywhere, it doesn't really matter, which is sort of like an action spot, or you upgrade with a card, which entitles you to get a worker, and you place it there. You can then start by manipulating the dice by going to the rooms. So for instance, if you go onto like this green one here, I can manipulate 1 green die 3 times.
Okay.
So once I've done that, this 3, for instance, is my choice, goes up to a 6, and then I put it down because the ones at the bottom indicate that they've been treated. So as you continually, manipulate the dice, you have specialists that have bonuses and stuff. You will potentially discharge some patients. They go to the discharge lounge because they've gone up to 7 or more.
Okay.
And that's how you score your points. Now, I don't have the player reference card, but basically the more patients you discharge in a single round, the more points you get. So you're really encouraged possibly to halt them back and then discharge all at once.
Okay. And what triggers the end of the game?
It's a round system. So as soon as you hit 8 rounds, the game ends. And then we just compare sort of on the scoreboard what everyone's scores are.
And we also have here the Dice Hospital Deluxe add-ons that you brought. What is this adding to the game?
Yeah, so essentially you have 5 of the ambulances because it's a 4-player game. It's N+1 for the draft. You then get these wooden tokens here, so they upgrade the blood tokens, and these blood tokens are sort of manipulators of the dice. We also upgrade the death fatality tokens. Yeah. But you also get a mini expansion pack with it, which gives it a lot more replayability. So what that does is it gives players the opportunity to sort of score in a different way.
Sure. And how long does a typical game take?
With new players, if you're playing 4, it takes about 90 minutes. But if you're experienced and you played it 2 or 3 times,
sure,
it takes up to 60 minutes. So it can be quite quick.
Is it one of those where it's like every player you add on adds a chunk of time to the total play time, or is there a lot of parallel play?
Yeah, so exactly. So essentially the only downtime is when players pick the ambulances and then decide
and then everybody gets to process independently.
Exactly.
Cool.
So yeah, so we do recommend if you play it for the first time, it goes linearly, because then you can watch each player to make sure that everyone's doing the right thing. Because there's a few things going on.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Cesar, for talking to us about Dice Hospital.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it looks really cool.